So we're Team 3, aka the Brain Trust Consultants, and for our busy 405 final project, we decided to look at Pi Kappa Phi, a social fraternity on campus.
Here we are at the Pi Kappa Phi house on the campus of the six-time men's national basketball champion, University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. What a glorious house indeed. Since its refounding in 2010, Pi Kappa Phi has historically been known for its high brotherhood involvement both inside and outside the fraternity. However, over the past few years, brotherhood apathy has taken a hold of Pi Kap's members and the overall sentiment in the chapter has decreased. Perhaps the biggest manifestation of this decline in the moral and collective responsibility felt by each of Pi Kap's members has been the overall decline in the cleanliness and overall state of the Pi Kappa Phi house located on 216 East Rosemary Street.
Hey Michael, do you mind introducing yourself and talking about your positions within the fraternity?
Yeah, so I'm Michael Freege. I'm a junior. I'm the president of PiKapp. And yeah, so I'm in charge of a lot of different things. I held other positions of leadership in the fraternity before, but yeah, currently I'm the president.
Great. So if you had to characterize some of the problems that PiKapp faces in terms of whether it be apathy or house cleanliness, what would you say those problems are?
I would say that apathy is a problem that we face, and I think that's a problem that we face in all different generations of the fraternity, whether it's a senior, freshman, junior, sophomore. There's a lot of different brotherhood apathy, a lot of times dealing a lot with guys who don't live in the house, but as well, I think within the house, we deal with a lot of, like you said, cleanliness issues, just making sure that guys pick up after themselves, and realizing that this is the place where people live and they need to act like, it's their home back wherever they're from and not just leaving trash around.
Yeah.
Since you've been a brother, do you think the house is generally clean?
Is the house clean? This is dirty ass house. You think this motherfucking house is clean? Dirty as shit. Not really, no.
And how often do you clean?
Not at all.
Thank you, Brandon.
Thank you.
All right, Bravante, you ready?
Yep.
All right, could you first tell us your name? and your
Matthew
year?
Bravante, and I'm a sophomore.
How long have you been a brother?
Been a brother for a full year now.
Okay. Since you've been a brother, how clean do you feel like this house is in general?
This house is pretty disgusting. A lot of times, you can't really set your stuff down on the table because there's not really a table there. It's just a bunch of trash. I personally would really like to see it a lot more clean than it is.
How often do you clean, and would you consider yourself a messy or a clean person?
I consider myself a clean person. I don't go out of my way that much to clean, but I always clean up after myself, make sure my plate and all my trash is put away and stuff.
Currently at Pi Kappa Phi, we use the fine system to combat apathy and people not cleaning up after themselves. But as you will see, this currently has not worked in Pi Kap's short history here.
So the current system that we use is a fine system, and it has some effects, but it's not perfect by any sense of the word. Using monetary, I guess what you would call a punishment, has its benefits for guys who are paying their own way through, but a lot of times guys who aren't paying their own way through for the fraternity, it doesn't have as big of an effect because it's not something that they see directly. A lot of times it kind of gets lost in the works, as well as just the effectiveness of actually getting the fines delivered.
And then what are your thoughts on the current fine system where brothers get fined for missing cleanings and chapters?
Personally, I like it because it's pretty easy to get out of. You just text the house manager an excuse and you're pretty much set. You don't get fined. You don't have to come clean. So it works well if you don't want to clean.
Yeah.
As you can see, the PiKapp fine system has not worked. In order to analyze that, we decided to use the EPO model. EPO model is skewed since the brothers don't care about the outcome and the fine. They won't put in the effort to perform and clean the house, so the fines have produced no results.
So after we figured out that the fine system wouldn't work, we went to the drawing board to figure out a way that we could incentivize members of the Brotherhood to clean and be less apathetic in fraternal events. And the idea that we came up with was a twofold point system that both rewarded brothers for cleaning and attending events, and also hurt brothers if they chose to not clean and not attend some fraternal events. For some of the younger guys, we would give them points to attend house cleanings and for attending events like chapter, and those points would go towards getting a nicer room inside of the house or preferential treatment in terms of the jobs that they have to do during some social events. And for the older guys, some of the guys that maybe don't live in the house and a little bit further off campus, if they don't clean the house and don't come to chapter, they would lose points. And after reaching a certain threshold, they wouldn't be able to attend some social events that the fraternity is putting on, which for some of these older guys, the social events are some of the major things that keep them involved in the fraternity. We really feel like this both positive and negative reward system is truly going to incentivize brothers to be less apathetic and to be more present around the house and to make the house a cleaner place overall.
After we developed our point system, we wanted to see if this was actually a viable solution, so we moved to implementation. And as we learned in 405, part of a great implementation plan is identifying change agents. So we identified 2 change agents in this process, the first of which is Eli Heil, which is a referent power because he's a really likable guy, he's very personal, he's won a lot of intramural championships, and basically well respected in the Brotherhood. And the second agent is Michael Frigi, who is the president. He's got authority. He oversees a lot of stuff. So we see him as our formal power to sort of enforce and to look over what Eli kind of does.
Point system, I think it's a great idea and a great way to motivate us to clean and be active around campus. And after talking to a bunch of my friends, we're all on board, and I'm looking forward to doing the best I can to implement it.
How clean do you think the house is?
Not clean at all.
So since we proposed to you our point system, how effective do you think it's been in decreasing brother apathy and increasing house cleanliness?
I can honestly say that a lot of changes that I've made while I've been president, I can say that this one has probably been the most effective. Just because I've seen around the house, guys just are more attentive to when they, leave trash, they pick it up after themselves. Also, just we're looking into doing some renovations this summer, and more guys are more interested in that, which shows that they actually care more. As well as looking forward to the next semester, guys are just more interested in getting involved. Just the point system of guys living in the house, or guys who want to live in the house next year, wanting to get better rooms, or guys going to better social events, whatever it is. Just the point system has been far more effective than the fines. So yeah, I think it's been an excellent change.
Great. Thank you so much for your time.
No problem.